Hey everyone, it's Lisa. Welcome to my Thursday video. If you were here this past Tuesday, you know that I did a video that was a little different from what the usual Tuesday video was supposed to be, which is the Cricut Legacy Machines video series that I've been working on. We kind of just went off, I won't say off track, but I did something a little different. I just shared some for those of you who may not have been there. And for those of you who were there, remember that I just shared a few little cards with you. I was trying to put together a card packet to send off for my church to send out to people with gift cards who are in need. And this was one of the cards that I showed you near the end of the video. If you actually stayed, thank you. There's a lot of talking before I got to this, and that was after you didn't even see, obviously the stuff that I took out of the video. And so I think I got off to a good start with this card. This was a stencil. Oh my gosh, I can talk. This was a stencil from Picket Fence Studios. It came with my life-changing brushes, and it was something that was in my stash. Tuesday, I was just trying to encourage everyone to go through their scraps and their stash, and just start playing around, mixing and matching things, and try to put together some cards. And so this was something that was tossed in a little bin with some other things, and I took it and I layered it on top of some gold foil paper that I bought from Michaels, and I did I used some Spectrum Noir sparkle pen on it. And in the video Tuesday, I did a little bit of that in the video, but I didn't actually finish all of it. So I have gone ahead and finished it. I put it on a card base. So what is today's video about? Well, I messed up the card, and what I wanted to show you is two projects, hopefully, if all goes well, that will come out of one project where I feel I messed up. So if you recall, I had typed and printed up a sentiment. Well, this is a sentiment. I run it through the foil machine, and I decided that I thought it would be nice to put it in an oval, and then this little decorative thing. This is from, I should have grabbed it before turning the camera on, but it is from Crafter's Companion. I believe it's part of the vintage collection. It's one of Sarah's, it's part of Sarah's signature series. And so I put that on, but then I don't think they go together. They're both very pretty, but the style, they just don't seem to go together to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this down, and this will be two card fronts, and then we're going to put it on two separate bases, card bases, and go from there. And so let me cut those down real quick, and I'll get back to you and show you what else I plan on doing. Okay, I'm back. So I've gone ahead and I have cut them apart. I trimmed this inner one, what was originally the inside of the card. I trimmed it down more, one, because I messed up part of my edge when I was trimming this down. So I had to trim all the way around. I feel like I gotta trim just a tad more to make it more centered. And so what I've decided to do is make this the card front. I've cut I cut one sheet of 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper, cardstock, sorry, not paper. I cut it in half, so I cut it at 5.5 by 8.5. I'm sorry. Yes, no, that's right. 5.5 by 8.5. And then scored at 4 1/4 to give me a standard or 2 standard size A2 cards. So they are 4 1/4 by 5.5. And so we're going to go ahead and do this one first. This is the fastest one. So all I need to do with this, other than trim it down maybe a tad, I'm going to put this on the card using foam tape. So I just raise it up a bit and that's it. A simple, pretty white card. It has, you know, this nice sentiment on the front, this beautiful designed frame. So I will just leave this blank, and there's just, you know, a place for whoever is sending out to write their note, and they can just add the little gift card in there. So let me trim this down really quick. I should have did that before I came back. Actually, I did, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, it still needs a little more trimming. Okay, so for this card, let me move some of this stuff out of the way. Quick and simple, and you guys can do this too. If you've been around, I've been crafting for a while, you know there are no, or we like to say there's no mistakes in art. Of course, that just means that we can usually figure out how to fix, you know, those things that we consider mistakes. And surprisingly, sometimes your project comes out better than you plan. Sometimes. And so anyway, let me just do this. These are not scissors I normally use, but okay, they work. So I'm just going to put some of this foam tape on here. And then there you have it, just a simple little note card, and it's ready to go. So I'm going to put that aside, hopefully somewhere not dirty. Okay, for this card, what I have decided to do is I'm going to put my card base on there, and I'm thinking about, look at this pretty ribbon. Can you see that? It's a little shiny. Sorry for the glare. I used my P-Touch Embellish. I bought this from HSN. I love this thing, but it's one of those tools that I wasn't really using. I was excited to get it, but I wasn't using it. So I decided to pull that out and play with it today. And I think I'm just going to put the ribbon probably across like that. I'm going to zoom in and see if you guys can see better. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm going to do something like that. And then for the inside, I have, if you were watching Tuesday, you saw me show you several sheets of paper that I had, where I had printed the sentiment out in different sizes and at different lengths of separation. Some were really close together, and then I had the other sheets where there was only 4 on a page so that I'd have more room, you know, to use frame dies. So this is one of those. I'm going to go ahead and run this through my ink machine. So a tip for foiling, excuse me, I'm sorry, I am struggling with allergies, and every time I go to edit, you don't know how many sniffles I have to take out of the video. So some tips I've learned from other YouTubers is, one, and I've already done it, so I'm not going to do it now, is go over your paper with, this is a, what is it? What do you call these things? This one's from Stampin' Up. It's an embossing buddy. That's what it is. It's to help get rid of the static. And then I took this brush and just kind of brushed it off. You want to try to not have anything, debris and stuff, on your card when you foil it, because it can cause some, hope I didn't put any on there, the foiling not to foil that great, and you'll have a lot of black spots. Sometimes you might still have that, but to try to cut down and eliminate those the black ink coming through as much as possible, if you take those steps, it will help give you a better foiling experience. And I see something on here, not sure why it's there. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's not going to affect anything. It's just driving me crazy that this, whatever this is on my little folder. So I'm going to run this through my ink machine, and while that's running through there, there we go again, I'm trimmed down a sheet of the gold paper that I bought from Michaels. And this is trimmed to, I'm trying not to be in this camera as usual. This is trimmed down to 4, no, I take it back. No, I was right. No, I wasn't. Let me measure this. Oh my gosh. When I do my layers, I trim down, I take 1/4 of an inch off. And so if this is 4 1/4, this should be 4. My brain is like, no, you did it at 3 7. Oh my gosh, 3 3/4, and it's like, no, I don't think that's what I did. Yeah, this is 4 by 5 1/4. So then my next layer would typically be 3 3/4 by 5. I'm not sure that piece I have there is that, because I didn't measure it. I just kind of trimmed it down by hand, which is not the best thing for me because I'm not always that straight. But anyway. Because this is about the size, no, I'm sorry, that's not what I was going to do. This one, because this is about the size of my front, I'm going to use glue on there. And liquid adhesive, I mean. This Kalau, I love this Kalau adhesive from Crafter's Companion. And you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and use it. I've been using this a lot more than I usually use liquid adhesive, because usually I make a mess with them. And also you have to be careful because sometimes they wrinkle up your project and then they don't look as nice as you would like. But I haven't really been having that problem with this Kalau glue for some reason. And I like the flexibility of being able to slide things around and get them exactly where I want them. So I think that looks pretty good there. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to rub that down. I should have put a paper over that instead of putting my fingers all over it. And then I'm just going to rub this a little bit. And then what I like to do is hold my folder and my foil and gradually look in case I feel like I need to run it through again. So, you know, it does have, I think maybe because I left it on too long. It's not, shoot, and I don't want to ruin it. I'm just going to run it through one more time. Sometimes I don't mind if there's a, you know, one or two spots of the ink showing underneath. I don't like when there's a lot of it showing underneath. So while that's running through again, and hopefully I don't have to start all over, which could very well happen, I'm going to zoom out a little more because I feel like you guys are too close. There we go. So I hope you're all doing well and that you are pulling out those supplies and just having a play with them. Those things that have been sitting in baskets and on your shelf, and you know, that you haven't been, that's a little better. I would like it to look, even better than that, but okay. And then this can actually be used again with a toner paper. So I'm going to save that. And then look at that. I mean, it's very pretty. I know some people are okay with the I don't know what to call it, the imperfections, which imperfections can actually be quite beautiful. But yeah, I like to not see the ink underneath. But we're going to continue on, and so I think I want to go ahead and ink the edges of this, because on this original piece right here, I did ink the edges a little bit with the Tim Holtz Vintage Photo Distress ink. So I'm going to do that with this piece as well and add it to the card. So the next thing I'm going to do is trim this ribbon down. This is about a quarter. This edge is about a quarter from the design, so a quarter inch from the design. I always forget to say inch or inches. So I'm going to trim this down to about a quarter inch from the design. Now I'm going to take this and adhere it using my Crafter's Companions tape runner. And I think I'm going to add that, let me see, right about, well, first of all, I gotta make sure it's edge to edge. I think right about here. I'm gonna go with this edge because I know it's straight. The part I cut might be a little slightly off. Okay. So what do you think, guys? I kind of like that. I love this ribbon. Oh my goodness. Okay, and so now I'm going to, as I stated earlier, I'm going to go ahead and use this Kalau liquid adhesive, because this card base, I have to be pretty precise with it, so I need to be able to move it around a bit. I'm going to start in the corner over here. Try to match it up that way first, and then I'm going to look around to make sure that looks good. Yeah, that looks perfect actually. Now I'm just going to kind of press just a little bit. Oh shoot, did I just do that? Okay, I'm gonna have to get that off when it dries. I seriously just laid that on the adhesive, but I can get it off. It'll come off just fine. I don't want to put it down though, because I don't want it sticking. So there are my two cards made from my mistakes. I think they came out pretty nice. Nice little note cards. Let me show you the inside of this one again. And so there's that. And now I have two cards from one card that didn't turn out exactly how I wanted it. So I hope you enjoyed these projects. If you're new to my channel, I hope you will stick around by clicking that subscribe button and the notification bell, as well as making your choice in the drop down menu, so that hopefully YouTube will let you know when I upload future videos. I want to thank you all for coming by. You know that I appreciate you so much. And as always, I look forward to being with you again. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.